The world whitened. It wasn't white. It was the blindingly bright color of gold.
Are we not going to do an intro?
No. That place was the beautiful Ushiromi family rose garden. However, the roses were all gold. The nectar was also golden. The butterflies gathering there were gold as well. This is the Golden Land. The promised land that the witches of Maraj Sorcière would ultimately be guided to. Just checking setting quick. There we go. There, all wishes come true, and all magic and dreams come into being. In that garden of gold roses were two and only two witches. At my uninvited appearance, the atmosphere trembled with unrest.
Everything good?
Yep. What was to them an ominous wind shook the golden roses. The incredibly beautiful scene formed by the golden rose petals scattering in the wind was, without a doubt, something not of this world. The two who had been taking a walk through the golden roses noticed me and reacted in surprise.
Henju? Beato! Henju だ!
どうやってここへ引き取られよ。わらわはもはやここへは誰も招かぬのだ。
Beato spoke coldly. She seemed like a completely different person from the boldly sneering woman she once had been. She closed off her heart and shut herself up in a world where she was alone with Maria Onechan. A world where she could always be alone with friendly Maria Onechan, conversing about magic while drinking tea. No one told...
Wait a minute. Isn't this exactly what Angie was saying like a couple chapters ago? About being in Maria's... the world of her diary? Didn't it use like some of the similar language?
Huh.
Or am I making that up?
No, you're not. Looks like she's not the only one who enjoyed spending time with Maria.
Yeah.
Oh shit. A world where not a single person who might have hurt them existed. Yes, to the two of them, that was a small and complete universe.
Is the music a bit loud? Or is it?
I think it might be glitched because it was just quiet a second ago.
And then it popped in loudly?
I think that's a little bit quieter.
Yeah, a little bit.
あんたにここに引きこもられちゃ困るのよ。私たちはあんたが戻ってこなきゃゲーム。
わらわは飽きたからやめたと言ってもうゲームには戻らぬ。
ベアトはね、ずっとここでマリアと一緒にいるの。ここで一緒にお茶を飲んでね、いろいろな遊びを考えるの。エンジェも一緒に遊んでいいんだよ。
マリア、それはならぬと言ってます。わらわにはそなただけがいればいい。だからそなた、わらわだけがいればよいと。
Now this does bring back kind of flashbacks with Beato and Maria. We did see some flashbacks, right? Where Maria would be on the island in previous years and would hang out with Beato.
Yeah.
That's what this is reminding me of, kind of.
Yeah, I see that too.
ありがとう。マリアをそこまで必要としてくれる人はベアトだけだよ。ならベアトと一緒にいる。二人きりでいい。
マリア、すまん。
Have we ever seen that expression?
No, we haven't.
Jeez.
But I'm very suspicious and cynical of anything that she shows us.
Beato held Maria tight, even creating a small warm universe within their joined arms. It was probably the birth of the smallest universe in the world. The smallest universe in the world which a pair who needed each other could create. No matter how small it was, that world was complete. But I have to tear it apart.
悪いけどそういうわけにはいかないの。私はこの マリアージュ・ソルシエルの黄金鏡をぶっ壊しにやってきたわ。
なぜわらわの世界を壊すのか。この世界がわらわとマリア以外の誰に迷惑をかけたというの。
あんたが始めて終わらせずにほったらかしたゲームで
Yep.
お兄ちゃんがずっと待たされてる。あんたが席に戻らなくちゃ勝負は永遠に終わらないのよ。
あのゲームにもはやプレイヤーは一人もおらぬ。バトラは消え去り、わらわもまた消え去り、あのゲームはもはや終わったの。
終わってない。あんたの始めたゲームでしょ。最後まできっちりバトラーを打ち負かし、あなたが本当に望んだ、あなたが打ち負かされ、あなたの魔法に飲み込まれた全てをしっかり最後まで責任を取りな。
ダメだよ。ベアとはこの世界でマリアと永遠に二人きりで過ご
Why
す
is
の。
Maria
マリ
okay
アも
with this then?
ベアとさえいれば他には何もいらないの。
I don't know.
ここでは全ての願いが叶う。全てがある。
This golden land is made up of nothing more than the crystallization of Maria Nechan and Beatrice's thoughts and feelings. To drag Beato out of this world, I have to destroy it. Destroy this golden land, which must be the final world of peace for Beatrice.
お姉ちゃん、この黄金鏡は嘘つきだわ。お姉ちゃんの本当に叶えたい願いを叶えてくれていない。
そんなことないよ。ここでは何でも叶うの。見て、ここには優しいママだっている。
Oh boy.
Out jumps Rosa impaled on a fence post.
Yeah.
Gold butterflies gathered behind Maria, forming into a kindly smiling Aunt Rosa, and after smiling sweetly at me, she softly became golden petals and crumbled.
Looks like she can't keep her around for much longer. Or for very
こ
long.
こでは何だって生み出せるの。エンジだって生み出せるよ。バトラだってジョージお兄ちゃんだってジェシカお姉ちゃんだっていくらでも呼び出せるよ。みんな優しくしてくれるよ。エンジもおいでよ。一緒に遊ぼう。
Sorry, One-chan.
作太郎は
Upon hearing Saktaro's name, One-chan's face looked like she was choking.
よせ、その名を口にするな。
Oh, that's right. Because Mama tore him apart, and she was the creator of Sakataro. There's no way Sakataro could come back, because she was denied by the creator. Beardo's expression changed as well, and she put her arm around Maria, hugging her as if to protect her. Sakataro's name was still taboo for One-chan.
どうして口にしちゃいけないの？マリアお姉ちゃんの一番の親友の名前よ。どうしてその親友をこの素敵な黄金鏡に招いてあげないの？どうしてこの何でも願いの叶う黄金鏡では作太郎だけ呼び出すことができる？
I just had I just had a thought.
What's up?
I wonder if the way that Maria supposedly breathed life into Sakataro, like that's part of her magic.
Yeah?
Did Kinzo do that with Beatrice?
What do you mean?
Also, did he like have an empty vessel, like maybe like a corpse or something, and like willed Beatrice into existence? She's like trying to be free of him or something.
That's certainly a theory.
I mean, she always talks about how she's, you know, a bird in a cage of flesh and like a captive of Kinzo's, you know. So.
Holy shit!
What?
Yo! I think you're onto something. What if he was trying to keep her soul alive?
And so he like transplanted her soul into another.
Well, when she originally died, right? Obviously, well, if we were to say there was an original Beatrice, like, obviously there were reports of him meeting somebody on Kuadorian and cheating on his wife. But what if when the original Beatrice died, he found like a corpse or something, and somehow managed to transport her soul into it?
Yeah, that's kind of that's like what I was thinking.
Is that
Along those
exact? Wait,
lines.
wait. Is that exactly what you're thinking?
Pretty much. I mean,
Holy
like,
shit!
yeah, I figured that if he was going to, you know, if he had the power to do that, he would do anything to try and save her life.
Okay, okay,
And maybe
okay.
that contributes to why she has trouble manifesting, because
This, yo, cage, bird trapped in a cage, dude. This theory is like, I'm speechless right now. You seriously? I
Sorry.
think you're dead on.
really,
I don't know, but I think you are.
I'd like
That would
to
make
think
perfect
that that's
sense.
because based on everything that they've shown us, that I feel like that would make the most sense.
Holy fuck. Well, if that's not it, I don't know what is.
Yeah,
Damn.
let's see what happens.
I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of that. And I sorry.
良いのだぞ
It's alright.
作太郎のことを思い出さなくても
作太郎はママに殺されたんだよ。
Yep. And that's what I said. Killed by Mama. Maria Nechan flew into a rage with a terrible expression on her face. Surprised about that voice, butterflies flew up throughout the garden, blowing around like a typhoon of flower petals.
ええ知ってるわローザおばさんは大切な作太郎のぬいぐるみを引き裂いたわ
Maria's scream became a storm and violently scattered the golden petals and leaves. It was truly a storm of gold.
やめよやめよやめよやめよ
Jeez.
なぜマリアの心の傷を再び引き裂こうとするのかわらわとマリアの大切な親友の眠りを汚すな
ならどうしてその大切な親友をあなたの魔法で蘇らせてあげないの
それができるものならやっているしかしあのぬいぐるみはローザによる手作りの品そのたった一つが引き裂かれた魔法的意味は
Is what? This stuffed animal was an oracle Rosa created herself. The magical meaning of the unique object given to our parties.
ごまかさないで
Oh.
どうして作太郎が蘇らせられないか答えは一つだろあなたが本当の魔女じゃないからよ
What? So Battler's not the real battler and she's not a real witch?
Apparently.
蘇らせられるともわらわの魔法でいくらでもこうして蘇らせられるとも作太郎でこの庭園を埋めることだってできようぞ
ええ
Yeah, he
できる
wasn't.
でしょうね
He wasn't like
あなたの魔
actually
法では
manifested. He was all corporeal.
Yeah.
でもあなたの生み出した作太郎は決してお姉ちゃんには見えないどうしてか分かってるでしょもう一度言うわあなたが本当の魔女でないからなのよ
やめてどうしてエンジェはそんなひどいことばかり言うのベアとはたくさん魔法が使えるよとても素敵な魔女なんだよ作太郎だけは蘇らせられなかったけど他のことなら何だってできるのだから作太郎だけは我慢できるの
お姉ちゃんそれは違うわ魔女にできないことなんてないのそれができない時点でベアトリーチェは本当の魔女じゃないわ
それは違うよ作太郎のよりしろのぬいぐるみはママの手作りの特別なものだから
だから蘇らせられないのベアトリーチェのあなたの魔法はそんなにも不便なの
ならばそなたなら作太郎を蘇らそなたの魔法ならばそれができるというのか
できるわ。マリアお姉ちゃん、私が本当の魔法を見せてあげるわ。私がサク太郎を蘇らせてあげる。
本当？ベアトリーチェもできなかったんだよ。本当に？
ええ、できるわ。その代わり約束して。
Hmm? Is
Is she
sure
100% sure she can?
Well, I know. I think I know she can, and I think I know why.
私が
Okay.
サク太郎を蘇らせてあげたなら。
Is it the love she has for Maria?
Do you want a hint?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Remember on the ship when Angie was on the ship with the boat captain,
Yeah.
and she saw something.
Saw something.
And she's like, "Oh crap! I know it now." It was that one. Remember in the ship's cabin when I was like, "If you look at this picture, you might see something that stands out to you."
Oh, right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I still never found out what that was.
Actually, now might be a good time to show you this. Can you still see my screen?
Yeah, I can.
Are you seeing my web browser now?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll pull it up. I don't think people watching this can see it, but this isn't like really huge and I don't think this is a huge part, so I don't think I'm really spoiling much at all, and you could have found this out on your own too, but I'm trying to figure out what part it was. Was it this part? Yes, it was this part. Alright, so it's... Do you see this?
Yeah, I mean, I see the screen, but I...
Do you see my cursor?
Yeah.
The very left part of the screen. Above the green blankets.
Is that Sakataro?
It looks like a plastic bag and then you see something yellow there, right?
Yeah, there's something yellow inside it.
I wonder what that could be. And I wonder what that could mean about a statement that Rosa had said. And
I'm not... I'm sorry, I'm not putting things together.
this
それ
right
は違
here.
うよ。サク太郎のよりしろのぬいぐるみはママの手作りの特別なものだから。
It's because Sakataro's stuffed animal vessel was something Mama made by hand herself.
So, did she not actually make it by hand then?
Well,
And
so
there's multiple of them?
yeah, if it's in a
They're like
plastic bag,
mass-produced.
if it looks like it's in a plastic bag, it's probably something she bought at a store.
Yeah.
And that
Wow. And that solidifies her as Mother of the Year.
And yep, and that is why Rosa, just because Rosa destroyed Sakataro, she was not the one that created Sakataro.
Mm-hmm.
And thus, Sakataro
But-
can be brought back.
He's still around, yeah.
He has not been denied by his creator.
この黄金鏡から出ていく。
そんなことは許さぬ。ここはわらわとマ
What are
リ
you
ア
gonna
の
do
世界
about it?
マリアがいなくなったら壊れてしまう。
The minimum amount of humans it takes to create a universe is 2. If that breaks down, the world is destroyed. To drag out the witch who shut herself away in the Golden Lands, I have to destroy this world.
そう。それこそがあなたが魔女でない証拠よ。本当の魔女ならね、宇宙は一人で生み出せるのよ。マリアージュ・ソルシエール魔女同盟。この同盟の存在自
Absolutely
体が
wrecked.
あなたが魔女でないことの証になっている。
嫌だ。マリアは渡さぬ。
I've never seen that expression from her either.
そなた
That's
は嫌い
also
だ
a new one. That's like a weird mix between the scary face and her crying?
Yeah.
ここから出ていけ。
勝手にみんなをゲームに引きずり込んでおいて、自分は機嫌一つで
Yeah,
飽きたり
how
追い出したり、
Come on, Angie, bring back Sakataro.
なんて自分勝手なの。
Do it.
見なさい、ベアトリーチェ。
Yep.
そ
Here
し
it
て
comes.
マリアお姉ちゃん、これが本当の魔法なのよ。
Here it comes.
本当に作太郎を蘇らせられるの？
Yes, she can.
できるわけがない。ここはわらわとマリアの二人だけの黄金鏡。部外者のそなたに使える魔法など一つもない。今のそなたには超一匹生み出すことさえ叶わぬわ。
静かにしてベアト。返事を邪魔しないで。
Soul of Souls? That's what song I'm guessing we're gonna hear here. When Maria yelled, the storm abruptly stopped, and the area returned to silence as the massive amount of golden petals that had been blown upwards quietly drifted down. That scene looked so fantastical, as though golden snow was falling. Maria, thinking about this unlikely if only miracle, unconsciously joined her hands together as though praying. Beato's heart raced as she watched Maria do this. If the extremely unlikely were to happen, Maria would... this world would... But it's inconceivable. An absolute impossibility. That stuffed animal, the only one of its kind in the world, was torn apart and thrown away.
Was it, though?
And not a thread remained. Reviving it is an absolute certain impossibility. This is my Golden Land! A world where magic that isn't mine certainly cannot exist!
できるものならやってみろ。
Rosa is the fucking mother of the year. Fucking Rosa.
I love how we're at the end of the story, basically, and they had to give us one more reveal of her being a shitty mom.
Yep. At Beato's scream, the world lost its sound. I slowly recited the incantation for true magic.
さあさ
Soul of Soul.
あ、思い出してごらんなさい。
I knew
マ
it.
リアの親友の作太郎。あなたがどんな姿をしていたのか。あなたがどんなに愛くるしいぬいぐるみだったのか。
Expressions of shock rose to both of their faces. Then, pushing Beato's elbow aside, Maria dashed forward. Then, she threw her arms around him and me both.
大丈夫。作太郎は消えないよ。
ウリュウ、マリア、ただいま。作太郎、作太郎。作太郎。会いたかった。
It was, unmistakably, that lion, that Sakataro stuffed animal. Maria had forgotten its softness, its texture, its stitches, its everything. But the instant she hugged the stuffed animal, everything came back to her vividly.
Uryu, Maria, tadaima. 作太郎、作太郎。体は平気なの？どこも痛くない？あんなにひどいことされたのにどこも平気なの？ウリュウ、レンジが魔法で蘇らせてくれたから全然平気なの。
Rosa, go fuck yourself.
よかった、よかった。おかえり、作太郎。もうマリアといつまでも一緒だよ。永遠に一緒だよ。だから僕を離さないでね。離さないよ、永遠に。
Then, still hugging Sakataro, she looked up at me with tear-filled eyes.
ありがとう、エンジェ。エンジェの魔法はすごい。どうして作太郎を蘇 なかったのに。
ありえぬ。ありえぬ。
Impossible.
どうしてわらわの黄金鏡でわらわ以外の人間が魔法を使えるのか。こんなことは断じてありえぬ。
何をうろたえているのよベアトリーチェ。これが魔法でしょ。
魔法のわけがない。ここはわらわの黄金鏡。わらわ以外の魔法は絶対に存在できない世界。
Let's stop to think about what that means. A world where magic that isn't mine certainly cannot exist. That means either A, Angie used her magic, or B, Sakataro was not brought back using magic.
Yeah, I...
魔法でサク太郎を蘇らせることはできなかった。
Okay. We see the red didn't go over say and my. It just went over magic was not able to revive Sakataro.
Yeah, that is interesting.
So
this is all assuming that magic is real, of course. But I mean, we already know that anti-magic... Sorry, excuse me. We already know that anti-magic is hatred and magic is love. Or something akin to that. And I'm assuming Angie's love for Maria after her realization from last chapter. That must have been the thing that brought Sakataro back, right?
You know, that seems like a good theory.
できるはずがないのだ。そのぬいぐるみは特別なぬいぐるみ。ローザが娘の誕生日のために作った世界でたった一つの。
Nope. She can't finish it.
ね、魔法でしょ。
Angie. Do you see her face?
Oh, she's crying.
With this miracle that she could not possibly accept, Beato understood all of my magic. And she looked at Maria and Sakataro innocently frolicking around, looked at me, and then fell to her knees, with even her hands pressed to the ground, and cried.
ベアトリーチェ、これは本当に魔法なんだよね。魔法なんだよね。ベアトリーチェ。
魔法であるぞ。それこそ本当の魔法であるぞ。
どうしてベアトにもできない魔法をエンジが使えるの？どうしてエンジすごい。エンジはすごい魔女。
Probably would have been interesting to keep that reveal about Sakataro on the ship to after Beato choked on her words there, but
Right.
Sorry if I said
alright.
that too early.
I think it's fine. It kind of had been driving me crazy that I couldn't figure out what it
本
was.
当の魔女だよ。
ええ、そうよ、お姉ちゃん。私は反言の魔女エンジ。
Witch of Resurrection.
私に蘇らせられないものはないわ。
すごいよすごい。反言の魔法って一番難しいってベアトも言ってたのに、エンジはすごい。本当の大魔女なんだ。
At that moment, Maria's and Sakataro's form slashed gold, and the two became golden flower petals and crumbled away. As the two became a golden wind and swirled together, they left for some other place of peace. Beato had, as promised, banished Maria from the Golden Land.
さようなら、マリアお姉ちゃん。そしていつまでもお幸せに。 大丈夫よ。お姉ちゃんの世界にも必ずでもそれはあなたのことじゃない。よかったな。
What? I'm sure you
What
exist.
does that mean?
It's alright, I'm sure you exist in One-chan's world as well, but that does... What?
Right, so didn't we get shown 2 different Beatos?
Oh.
So which one is this? Is this the one that gave up the game and killed Kinzo?
Well,
Or no, one gave up the game and then the other killed Kinzo, I think.
the one that gave up the game was the one that was wearing the schoolgirl outfit. And
Yeah.
that was the one that we're assuming is representing the person on the island.
Mm-hmm.
And this one was the one that took her place enraged and killed Kinzo,
Right.
I believe.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure you exist in One-chan's world as well. In Mari's world, the you is the side of Beitorichi that's one of the 18. And doesn't refer to you. It is the witch who doesn't exist.
Right.
Boom.
Nice. Good stuff.
そなたの親友としてその再会
On Beato's face was a mixture of what was probably every expression a human could muster. That expression, it was joy, it was anger, it was sadness.
それが魔法の根源よね。愛がなければ悲しみがなければ怒りがなければ
The truth cannot be
魔
seen.
法は見えない。
And magic is the truth.
Sure
That's it.
Seems like it.
Magic is just truth. Or magic is masking truth. Underneath magic is the truth.
Yeah.
The ground shook. An earthquake. It gradually caused greater and greater fissures and began tearing Beitorichi's final paradise apart. Golden butterflies fluttered about trying to escape, but there was nowhere to escape to, nor for Beitorichi. The golden land began to crumble away. The earth gave way like a floor falling through, and Beitorichi was sucked into the depths of a jet-black darkness. Then she was mercilessly slammed against a jet-black floor. It was a small, nondescript, and very dimly lit smoking room. There was no door to exit by, and while there were windows, they let no light into this place. Beitorichi's smoking room. Even as Beato moaned for the pain of being slammed against that cold hard floor, she shakily rose to her feet. A seat was there, and the game table, still just as it had been when she had left it. The game board too was preserved in the same state in which Beato had abandoned it.
そこがあなたの席。座りなさい。
わらわに座るべき席は
Is Angie gonna play her?
しかない。
It sure seems like it.
Beato put a hand against her own seat and laughed sadly.
勝つか負けるかあなたに与えられるのはそれに行き着く過程での引き分けは許されるでも中断して投げ出すことだけは許さない。勝って生き残るか負けて消え去るかそのどちらかになるまであなたはその席を立つことなんて許されない。それが魔女のゲームのホストである黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェの唯一の務めでしょ。
Laughing weakly, Beato sat down. Then she rested her elbows on the table, bad table manners, covered her friends with both hands, covered
Her friends.
Where'd I get friends from? Covered her face with both hands, and managed to put together a smile with just her mouth.
勝てぬゲームを逃げることは許されぬか。ならばよかろう。わらわが負けるまで繰り返そうではないか。
何よ気弱な
She said it's
勝ちなさいよ。
For her, I'm guessing. She thinks that she can't win it.
あなたの最善手を尽くしなさい。あなたが始めたゲーム、あなたには最善手を指す義務がある。いい加減に優柔不断にふざけるのはやめ。
Just then there was a heavy sound. Beato felt a cold and pitiful sensation on her leg. It was a shackle? Oh fuck.
やっと捕まえたわよ、ベアと。
おい、大ラムダデルタ教ではない。まだおられたと思う。
Beto's foot was locked in an ice-cold steel shackle. Fastening her to the chair she sat in, she would no longer be able to escape from this seat.
もう逃げられないんだからね。私こう見えてもしつこいの。意外でしょ。
自覚がなかった方が意外である。
あんたには中座も中断も許されてないのよ。永遠に戦うのよ。勝つためにね。負けたくはないでしょ。負けたらどんな素敵な世界に叩き落とされるか、ちょっぴりだけ覗いてみたい。大丈夫よ。勝てるわよ。この大ラムダデルタ教があんたが勝つまでつきっきりで永遠に面倒を見てあげるから。
しかし戦いたくともわらわの向かいに対戦
I
相手は
will be
お
your
らぬ。
opponent.
Is Battler coming back?
大丈夫よ。
Oh.
バトラーを見つけて
Nice.
Burncastle found Battler drifting in the void.
Yeah, seriously.
When Burncastle appeared and clapped her hands, Battler appeared from the sky and plopped into the opposite chair. Battler's eyes were slightly open, but there was no sparkle in them, almost like a doll. Without the one pillar that established his soul, he had fallen to the very depths of darkness that had been drifting about all this time. By rights, he should have dispersed and vanished like mist. Burncastle had managed to scrape him together. It was surprising that she had managed to bring him back into human form. However, even though his body had returned, his soul had not. It was blown away when its existence was denied by Beitarichi. It wouldn't come back easily.
バトラーもこの戦いを逃げないわ。あんたに勝つまでね。
So here's his corpse.
勝ち目がなくなってきたからって全て投げ出して逃げるなんて、そんな無粋を許しはしない。彼だってそんなことを望んではいないわ。でしょ、後ろ宮バトラー。
Battler didn't answer. His heart was still dead. His eyes wavered slightly at the question, but he couldn't
バ
answer.
トラー、しっかり。あなたはここにいるわよ。そして敵は目の前にいる。戦って勝つために。
Battler lazily and incoherently parroted her words. He was aback, but the trauma inflicted on his soul was no small thing. That was only natural. Beatrice had woven her red, and he had been denied. He had learned that the mother he had respected was not his birth mother. Is that what he learned?
Yeah.
Or,
I mean, he also learned that apparently he's not Battler,
yeah,
which I think is the more
the more traumatic thing.
shocking. Yeah.
And he didn't know who he was.
自分は後ろ宮バトラーではない。
Damn.
バカなこと言ってんじゃない。あんたは他の誰でもない後ろ宮バトラーよ。誰が認めようと否定しようと、あなたがそれを信じなさい。あなたの世界はね、あなただけが作れるのよ。あなたが後ろ宮バトラーである世界を失わないで。
じゃあ俺は誰なんだよ。おふくろの子じゃないんだぜ。俺はどこから生まれてきたんだよ。
Battler asked while gazing lazily up at the ceiling with eyes that still hadn't regained their sparkles. Of course, she answered right away.
ええ、そうね。レアトが赤き真実で宣言したわ。だから私も宣言する。後ろ宮バトラーは後ろ宮アスムの息子ではないわ。
What? Wait. Did we know this?
When they... Yeah, that's what Beato said earlier.
Beto said that he wasn't Azumu's son, but Battler was Azumu's son, I thought, right?
Oh, no, yeah, you're right. So, she said that Ushiromiya Battler
Was born of...
was born of Ushiromiya Asumu, but that this Battler is actually not born of her, so therefore he's not Battler. I think that was the reasoning, right?
But now Angie's saying Ushiromiya Battler is not Ushiromiya Azumu's son.
Yeah. Which is weird.
Because that would be referring to Shiromi Battler. But which one?
Yeah, Beato must have been messing with him somehow. There must be some logical fallacy we're not seeing here.
なれば我がゲームの対戦相手の資格はないであろう。
ベアトリーチェに復唱要求。後宮バトラは後宮金蔵の孫ではない。
Wait, what? As Beto wrinkled her forehead, a pained smile rose to her face.
復唱拒否ね。ベアトが宣言した2つのバトラはアスムの息子ではない。そして金蔵の孫であるバトラにしか対戦相手の資格がない。これに矛盾せずにバトラに資格を認められるのは、これが私の青き真実。ベアとの対戦相手の資格は金蔵の孫である後宮バトラでアスムの息子であるか否かは問題ではない。すなわちあなたはアスムの息子でなくても金蔵の孫であることはできる。
I mean, even if
ル
he
ドル
was...
フの息子でさえあるならば。
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was actually just gonna say that.
Maybe born of doesn't mean son? Maybe
Well,
maybe
I mean-
it's maybe technically, since Azumu's dead, he can't be her son, and they're instead saying technically he's Kirie's son because Kirie's alive.
Oh, maybe. You think it's like a semantics thing?
I don't know. That just seems weird too.
Let's see where they go with it.
Huh.
くだらない言葉遊びよね。
青き真実有効よ。ベアト、赤き真実での反論は赤き真実で受けられないならバトラの対戦資格は何の問題もない。
Battler was still out of it. He couldn't really understand what she was saying for him, but even so, his spirit was starting to come back bit by bit.
じゃあ俺は誰なんだよ。
しっかりなさい。あんたは後宮バトラ。確かにアスムお母さんがあなたを産んだわけではないかもしれない。でもだから何？あなたにとって
Did she just give
母
herself
親であ
away?
ることに何も変わりはないでしょ。
Oh fuck!
Asumu Okasan.
Fuck! Fuck! Fuck!
Yeah.
Otherwise, she would have choked though.
Yeah.
Wait. Maybe she's gonna like start choking or something now.
例えばあなたにとって後宮
Oh
蓮は
fuck!
何？血は繋がってないかもしれないけどそれでも妹でしょ。
Wait, but they do.
They both share Ushiromi
Rudolph's.
They're both Rudolph's.
Yes.
血じゃないでしょ。絆でしょ。
You're not making any sense here, Angie.
I'm really confused.
そりゃ
Does the mother
そうさ。
matter that much?
Well, I don't know. They're making a huge deal about it.
Yeah.
エンジは血が繋がってなくても妹だ。
赤で言ってエンジェは妹だって言って。
エンジは俺の妹だ。あ、
Imotoda.
家と
She hugged Battler, who's still out of it, and slumped in his chair strongly from behind. This is not allowed in this game, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think she's going too far. So strongly that it hurt.
どういう事情でアスムお母さんがあなたの生みのお母さんじゃないかは分からん。でもあなたは今日までそして今でも母親だと信じてるでしょ。世の中にはね母親さえ家族さえいない人だって大勢いるのよ。アスムお母さんはあなたを寂しがらせたことがある？ないでしょ。あなたの平和だった家族を簡単に捨て去らないで。あんたは6年も家族の元から離れてたから家族の絆が希薄すぎるのよ。もっともっと家族の絆を強く感じて思い出して。アスムお母さんのためにもこんなくだらない魔女の妄言で愛情を失わ
父さん、おふくろはいつだって俺、ここはどこだよ。くれよ、帰りてえよ。俺の家族は、みんなは。
The light still hadn't returned to Battler's eyes, but tears formed there.
お家であなたの妹が帰りを待ってるわ。せめてあなただけでも帰ってあげないと。妹のためにもどうか魔女のゲームに勝って。
エンジ、俺の妹。でもよ、わからねえんだ。どうして俺はベアトとこんなわけのわかんねえ。もう嫌だ。
なら早くこんなゲームに決着をつけて。後ろ宮バトラー、いつまでこんなところで遊んでいるの。妹が帰りを待ってるわよ。
That's right. Battler was caught up in this strange game before he even knew it, and unable to understand what he was fighting for. He was taken along at Witch's pace, toyed with, and made to fight for a very long time. That should have been the simplest and first question. Not understanding that is why he loses purpose for fighting. It's why my voice doesn't reach his ears. What he needs is not some vague purpose like winning against the Witcher because she's unforgivable. He needs to become aware of a purpose for which he must win.
そうだ、帰りたい。親父やおふくろ、エンジェのところに帰りたい。もう嫌だ。ここは嫌だ。もう魔女は嫌だ。ゲームも殺人も嫌だ。嫌だ。嫌だ。
バトラの魂が戻りかけてる。
でもあとちょっとが届いたわ。もう嫌でしょ。なら家族の元へ帰るためにもメアドリーチェを打ち破って
嫌だ。もう魔女は嫌だ。ベアトも嫌だ。どいつもこいつも嫌だ。お前も嫌だ。お前だってどうせきっと魔女の仲間だ。いつまた裏切るかもわからない。何も信用できない。赤くない言葉は何も信用できない。俺に構うな。構うな。
Battler's soul howled. She hugged his head from behind so tightly that it hurt.
早く帰ってきて、お兄ちゃん。
あ
私を一人ぼっちにしないで。
お前、
私よ、エンジェよ。お父さんもお母さんもお兄ちゃんも誰も帰ってこない。寂しいよ。お願いだから早く帰ってきて。
お前エンジェだったのか。
そうよ、エンジェよ。誰も帰ってこない世界の後ろ宮エンジェ。私の家族は全てあの日の六軒島から帰ってこない。目の前のあの魔女が家族を全て、お兄ちゃんさえも奪い取ってしまった。お兄ちゃんだけがあいつをやっつけられる。あいつをやっつけて、そして家族を取り戻して、そして私のところに帰ってきて。
ベアトが俺の家族。
そうだ、逃げも隠れもせぬわらわが後ろ宮エンジェから家族を奪った。バトラはわらわの玩具よ。その父親も母親もすべて玩具よ。そなたには返さぬわ。永遠に一人ぼっちで帰らぬ家族の帰りを待ってさまよい続けるがいい。
From Angie's arms that held him, the very painful, sad, and lonely days that his little sister left all alone had gone through flowed into Battler. Because he had been playing around in a place like this, his little sister had been left all alone and had been forced to endure such painful days.
エンジェ、エンジェ、くそ。俺は何をやってたんだ。ありがとうなエンジェ。お兄ちゃんは大切なことをずっと忘れていた。
Battler tried to turn around, but Angie was clutching his head with an incredible force, so he couldn't. Sweat? Hot drops splashed the back of Battler's neck.
She's bleeding.
What they were, he discovered by holding Angie's arm as she clung to him. Because it stained Battler's hand, his fingers red.
エンズ大丈夫かおい
It dripped and splashed. He didn't know what was going on. Battler couldn't tell for sure because he couldn't turn around. But the hot drops staining his entire back were surely blood.
お兄ちゃんを助けるためにここに来るために唯一守らなきゃいけないルールがあったの。それがこれ。お兄ちゃんに私が演者だと知られてしまうこと。辛かったよ。お兄ちゃんが目の前にいるのにそれを口にできないな。このルールさえ守ればずっと永遠にお兄ちゃんのそばにいられる。お兄ちゃんと一緒に魔女と戦うゲームを永遠に。でもそれじゃダメ。お兄ちゃんは帰らなきゃ。お家であなたの妹が待っているもの。それは私のことではないけれど、それであなたの妹は救われる。
エンジエンジこんなに違う。こんなに
He wanted to turn around, but he couldn't because of how tightly Angie was gripping his head. However, just judging by the blood that was pouring out and Angie's pain breathing, he realized that something seriously wrong was happening to her right now.
気にしないで。私は所詮困る。チェスではね、サクリファイスって言う。
サクリなんだって。そんなことはどうでもいい。早く手当てを。この手を一度離すんだ。エンジェ。
サクリファイスと捨て駒のこと。戦略的展望のためにわざと損を承知で駒を見捨てることを。
The ultimate goal in chess is victory against the opponent, so sacrificing a few individual pieces is no problem if that can bring you victory in the end. Angie had made a level-headed decision. She had been told over and over again that she was a piece, not a player. In order to act like a piece and save Battler, right now she needed herself to become a sacrificial piece. Battler had to be made aware. His purpose in playing this witch's game must not be something abstract like finishing off the witch. He needs to win the game, he needs to release himself, and he needs to bring his family back home. Why? Because he has his family, a little sister waiting for him to come home. A being created to bring Ushiromi Angie's voice to him. That is who Angie Beatrice is, who I am. I will use the piece I am as a sacrifice, to give Oni-chan the will to fight, to give him purpose. Oni-chan, my purpose is not to play with you in a witch's game for all eternity. I came to bring Ushiromi Angie's mourning and sadness. That is my unshakable purpose.
エンジェエンジェうわ
The white, skinny arm holding Battler was pale and transparent, almost like wax, but it was stained so cruelly with fresh blood.
私はもう消えちゃうけれど、お兄ちゃんは頑張って戦ってきっと私のところへ帰ってきてね。待ってるよ、ずっと。お兄ちゃんをもっといっぱい手助けしてあげるつもりだったのに何もできなかった。ごめんね。
いいんだ。お前は俺に教えてくれたじゃねえか。どうして俺が勝たなくちゃならないか。そして俺が絶対に勝って。俺は何をこんなところでぼんやりと遊んでいたんだ。ああ、 もうこんなところで遊んでなんか帰るからな。帰るからな。お土産持ってきっと帰るからな。
いらないから一つだけ約束して。
なんだよ、何でも約束する。
この手を今から離すね。痛かったでしょ。ギュッとしててごめんね。私は大丈夫だから振り返らなくていいから。だから最後にお兄ちゃんの一番かっこいいところを見せて。席を立って目の前の魔女を指さしてゲームの再開。
Angie's hand slid and disappeared behind me. The stark marks of her fingers were left behind in the blood that had been oozing from her fingernails, but I turned around right away to take care of Angie's wounds.
Angie! エンジ。
ああ、振り向いちゃダメって約束したのに。
エンジ。どこへ。
Behind my chair, as though about 10 watermelons packed with blood had all been smashed, there was a sticky, pulpy mountain. And around that mountain of blood and minced meat, the clothes and shoes Angie had been wearing lay crumpled as though they had been thrown off. As though a human's insides alone had been pulverized and discarded. As though Angie, who had just been standing there until just a second ago, had been crushed.
エンジ。エンジはどこだよ。エンジはどこに消えたんだよ。おい、エンジはどこに消えたんだよ。
The two young-looking witches said nothing, and just silently looked at the mountain of blood and meat and clothes. But I didn't want to accept it. I did not want to accept it.
わらわはそなたの正面でずっと見ていた。そなたの後ろでエンジが
お前は知ってるのか。エンジはどこへ行ったんだ。
生きながら焼けたでっかいペンチで一つも一つも親指大の大きさに全身の肉を引きちぎって捨てていくんだ。わらわは見ていた。魔女の釜で真っ赤に焼かれた無数の残忍な行為にエンジ一つまみ一つまみ肉をついばむ、ひねる、引きちぎる。エンジは誇っていい。兄と最後の言葉を交わすためにその苦痛の喘ぎを最後まで耐えたことを誇っていい。
Like hell that happened! But rolling there on top of that mountain of flesh and clothes was, without a doubt, what she had been wearing on her head. Those pink bead hair ornaments. To be honest, I was thinking they were a bit too childish and didn't really suit her. So I remembered them well. Why has Angie been wearing these cheap hair ornaments all this time? No, no. This can't be Angie. It couldn't be. Oh!
ベアとも正直ね。バトルには見えてなかったんだから、蝶々になって飛んでいったとか言ってごまかしちゃえばいいのに。
お前らもそれを見ていたのか。エンジがバラバラに引きちぎられていくところを見ていたのかよ。見ててそんな平然とした顔をしてたのかよ。
Without answering, Berncastel, Lambda Delta, and Beatrice looked at me, in some pity, others in derision. She was calling herself Gretel, so after what happened with Virgilia in that last game, I was thinking up until now that she might be Beato's underling. And I was making sure not to trust her even though she was on my side. And then, just as I learned it was actually Angie, I'm not permitted to see her face. And when I turn around, I find something like this. Ugh!
良いではないか、妹のことなど。どうせそなたは永遠にここからそなたが帰らぬ世界の妹などどうなろうが知ったことではなかろうが、そなたがここで遊んでいる限り無数の世界のエンジェが孤独となり、今の最後と同じ苦痛をだが、そんなことはどうでもいいことではないか。ここにいるそなたには見えない、観測できない、観測できない真実、赤き真実を用いねば立証できない。だからエンジェのその後の不幸はそなたの杞憂かもしれない。案外ルドルフの遺産でのんびりと生涯働かずに暮らせてたりしてな。
That was a lie. From Angie's arm, every part of the sad world that follows had poured into me in an instant. It's all because I keep on lazing about forever and playing in a place like this. I never thought about anyone but myself. I have to defeat her. I have to take back my family and come back to Angie, who's waiting for me as soon as humanly possible. Because even as I hang around with the witch like this, Angie's heart continues to be torn to bits by sadness.
エンジェ、お前が見たかったのはこれだよな。
Towards the cruel witch who had indifferently spoke of Angie's brutally last moments, slowly. And yet, with all my might, I pointed.
ベアトリーチェ。ゲームの再開だ。もう俺は逃げねえし。
望むところよ。わらわはもはや逃げも隠れもできぬ。わらわとそなたの決着を確実につけよう。どちらかが勝つ、どちらかが敗れて滅ぶ。それ以外の結末は存在しない。
俺は勝つ。どれほどの時間をかけようとも絶対にお前を打ち破る。この勝負にもう妥協も中断も不先輩もない。俺は逃げない、逃がさない。俺を本気で倒しに来いよ。くだらない騙しもごまかしもおかしな交流も馴れ合いも一切必要ない。お前と俺は敵同士。一秒でも早く決着をつけて。
揺るぎなき決意、絶対の意志、人間の絶対なる意志を絶対、それは奇跡に通じそれを約束する。そう、これは約束された絶対の奇跡。わらわの勝ちは100億に一つ。ひとかけらの奇跡も絶対になくありえぬということか。わらわの足にはいつの間にか音もなく、もう片方の足にはこの椅子に縛り付けている。わらわに残されたる運命はバトラに殺され敗北すること。それを拒み永遠に引き分けを繰り返すことのみ。いや、殺されるための心の整理がつくまでいずれにせよ敗れるためだけに戦わねばならない。もう永遠の鎖はわらわを縛り付け、そしてバトラもまた。わらはみっともなく許しを請うか、同情を請うために哀れみの心に訴えかけるか。 なりふり構わず土下座して鎖のせいでそれもかなわぬチェックメイト。これは完全なる詰めだ。だがわらわは黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ、黄金鏡に君臨したる黄金の魔王。敗れるための戦いであってもわらわにはふさわしき態度がある。そしてわらわにふさわしく散り際を飾る権利がある。わらわとて同じそなたに我が魔法を存在を認めさせて、この島にそなたはその最初の茶会の主賓となるだろう。そなた以外は全員がすでに揃っているぞ。主賓の到着
Who
が
is
遅
she
れている。
talking to right now?
いつまでも茶会が開けない。
Battler, probably?
そなたの父
Feels like
親
she's
母親いとこたちもみんなお前の到
It
着を
feels like
待
she's
ちくたび
talking
れて
to
いる。
us.
That's what I thought at first.
ああ上等だぜ。まったくにもって上等だ。何が魔法だ、
I wasn't
何が
talking
魔
to
女
you,
だ。
Battler. I was talking to the players.
お前との遊びはこれまでだ。行くぞベアトリーチェ。
存分に来るがよいぞ。妥協も中断も不先輩もない。どちらかの勝ち。どちらかお前に負ける意志がないというのだ。しかしわらわもむざむざと殺されはしない。わらわにふさわしき最後をそなたが用意できるので、抵抗を繰り返すことができる。そなたにそれができるといい。必ずできるさ。来い。殺し。やりにくいか。ならばいつもの調子でいこう。殺されるかよ。せめて勝てなくてもお前に勝ちを譲らない程度の嫌がらせはできるんだぜ。ほう、いい面構えだ。殺してみろ。
Whoa.
殺してみろよ。後ろ宮バトル。うおー
I didn't quite catch all of that.
Mic drop. And that was the end of the chapter.
Wow.
And now,
Do we get credits for this one?
I don't think so. I think the credits are probably after the tea party.
Okay. Well, I gotta run real quick, but I'll be right back.
Alright.